Welcome, House District 60, Week 11 check-in from Salem. First of all, I'd just like to think our thoughts and prayers go out to Harney County as the river peaked last weekend higher than it has since from 1943 or 48. Over 10% of the population of Harney County was in an evacuation zone at one time, and it inundated the sewer system. A lot of homes, houses got flooded. Working to try to figure out how we can help you. I know Congressman Vance is coming into town this weekend. For those that are still struggling out there, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. Week 11 has been crazy. As we've been talking, that first chamber deadline is next Wednesday. Some of the committees that meet twice a week, one of them in particular, healthcare, had 53 work sessions, I think, in a 2.5 hour committee this week. Just crazy. Can't get all the paperwork, can't really evaluate the bills that much. It's too much. Too many bills to try to process. I mean, close to 4,000 bills, and just too many people working hard to get theirs across the line. But we got to figure out something different. Uh, Bills of note that I've been telling you about. House Bill 3104 made it out of committee down to Ways and Means. That's basically the Rural Resource Center bill that would put some FTE out in the rural communities for cities and counties under 10,000 to have some professional services to help them with capital stacks or whatever they might be lacking in their county or city. Good bill. Now we'll have to fight it in Ways and Means. The RFPA bills made it out. They passed unanimously out of committee. One was the policy and one was the fund. We did that intentionally to try to keep both of them going to Ways and Means, but Legislative Fiscal Office decided one was dependent on the other, so they both went to Ways and Means. We do have the governor's office and her support on those bills, so I'm thankful or fortunate. Well, I am believe that we'll be successful in Ways and Means. Bill of interest that we got coming up, I think on Monday in agriculture and everything else is House Bill 3372. 3372. As you know, for about 70 years, Oregonians that were growing produce on a garden would take it to the farmer's market, and there was never an issue. About a year, maybe 2 years ago, the Water Resource Department decided to start enforcing that you cannot have any commercial activity off a garden that's a half acre under unless you have a water right. So a lot of our farmers markets got hit. I've heard about this specifically in my hometown. What 3372 does, it would allow a commercial garden under half acre to be able to raise produce and sell it at a farmer market without a water right. You would be limited to 3,000 gallons a day. You'd also be limited to 3,000 gallons a day on your non-commercial garden in your lawn, but it would allow our small gardeners that are vital for food security and farmers markets to have a way to do this legally. As we know, water rights are expensive, and there's parts of the state that cannot get a water right anymore. This will be fun to watch. There'll be, well, I guess the new phrase that I've coined this week, there'll be bipartisan opposition on it and there'll be bipartisan support on it. So House Bill 3372, if you have an interest, tune in Monday morning at 8 or send us an email and we'll get you signed up. You can testify, but not this newsletter, but the following newsletter. We'll put a link into the newsletter that you can go in and listen, because it's going to be fascinating to watch and listen. Also this week, something we've been talking about a lot is repealing the wildfire maps. The House Republicans had a bill for it, the Senate Republicans had a bill for it, and Senator Golden had a bill for it too. The powers to be, which are the presiding officers, chose to go with Senator Golden's bill. They were pretty much three identical bills. They had a public hearing for it this week to repeal, a full repeal of the wildfire maps that were brought forth because of Senate Bill 762. That seems to be the path. I have no doubt that it will pass, get through both chambers, and those wildfire maps will be repealed. So that's good. So we talked about House Bill 2548 a week or two ago. It's one of the few bills that I've ever gone to committee and testified against. It's the one that set up the Agricultural Workforce Board that would, dictate how our farmers and ranchers, which are 97% family owned, need to pay employees more hours of employees, takes away the at-will position of the employees, really takes away our ability to work with employees as part of our family and figure out what works best. It's a bad bill. Uh, and it still seems to be moving forward for a work session to be kicked down to Ways and Means. So, as a caucus, we wanted to do something to show that we'd like you to work with us and let this bill die before the work session deadline next week. So, on Wednesday, we decided we were going to read bills. By the Constitution, it is required to read every bill on the floor. Most of the time, that's always waived to expedite the process, and some bills are quite lengthy, and most of us all read those bills prior to going to the floor. So it speeds up the process. But on Wednesday, we said no. No, we want to read bills. We want to show you that we aren't just going to be here to move forward bills that collectively a lot of people don't support. I mean, none of the Republicans support it, and you know, I bet you over half the Democrats don't support that bill. So we did. We read bills just for one day to put a shot across the bow that says, "Hey, we need to do something." Hopefully, that'll be effective. We'll have to look back and see what's going on. So next week in the Ag Committee, we have the House Bill 2803 and House Bill 2808. They're Water Resource Department fee increases. Been working with Representative Helm specifically on House Bill 2803 because it proposed 135% fee increase for water right transactions. Can't support it. I told the department I can't support it. We have an amendment coming in that's going to probably take that fee increase down into 30-40% range. Still a lot, but a lot better than what it could be. I'll have to continue to keep you updated on that. Another bill that was one of those stories that just works out. We had a lady contact us from Ontario. They homeschool their kids, got several kids, and they were in one of those grades, or several were in different grades that you have to do state testing. If you go to public schools or charter schools that are publicly funded, you can opt out of state school testing. You don't have to take the test. If you do take the test, the school pays for it. But if you're homeschooled, you have to take the test and you have to pay for it out of pocket. And this was costing that family quite a bit. I mean, upwards over $1,000 a year because they had several kids, and I think it's 3, 5th, 8th, and 11th that have to do testing. Could be wrong there. And she said, "What can we do about it?" So we worked with her in legislative council, and we came up with a pretty simple fix that 3 times a year, your education service districts will host a proctor. You can take your kiddos in there and take the test. They'll pay for it. If you want to keep the current method that you find your proctor and you pay for it, you can do that too. I look forward to that one coming out of the Education Committee and moving on. So tomorrow we got Ways and Means Roadshow in Warm Springs, and the next Friday we have Ways and Means Roadshow in La Grande. That's been in our newsletter. Love to see you guys out in La Grande from House District 60, or it'll be Klamath 2 weeks later. But important to get out there and say what bills you support, mainly which bills have fiscals that you need to help us get across the line. Any questions, reach out to our office. Always here to try to help you guys. And let's call that a wrap for week 11 and look forward to talking to you next week. Be safe.